Hello everyone, I am Ankush Chirimar and welcome to my YouTube channel. This is my first ever revision video for CA Final Audit on the topic SQC1 and SA220. This particular topic comes in every attempt for at least 5 marks and it can go up to 9 marks as well. So this revision video is most important to you. Secondly, I am Ankush Chirimar. I have qualified in November 23. I have got All India rank 6 in CA Final, All India rank 5 in CA Intermediate, All India rank 32 in CA Foundation, and 95 marks in CA Intermediate Audit. That were the ever highest marks in the history of ICI. So I exactly know what ICI wants, how it wants it, and how we have to present our answers. I have already done 4 times 500 plus certified copy analysis of CA Final Audit, and based on that I have prepared my material, I have prepared my resources. I know most of you might already have been following our books, but because our revision videos have been in Hindi language, so some of you might not have been able to follow it. But here we are with our first revision video for CA Final Audit, and I have already talking about my teaching journey. I have already spent 1.5 hours in teaching, and I have already taught thousands of students. And talking about our ranks, we have already got to 20 or 25 plus ranks and countless exemptions. And this time in January 26, you are going to clear CA Final Audit in the best way possible with flying colors, and that's I can guarantee you if you are following these revision videos. Secondly, for January 26, what all material will we be getting? First of all, the books are already available with you. You can buy directly from our website. Obviously, you don't have to change your material right now as such. But if you are uncomfortable with your material, if you are not confident with whatever you are following, you can definitely go for switching the material for some particular topics, maybe as per your choice. Secondly, for January 26, I will try to post major topics revision videos. So in the comments description, in the comments down, please post your topics, like whatever topics you want revision videos on. I will definitely try to post those revision videos as soon as possible for January 26 attempt, because I know every day, every hour, and every attempt matters so much to you, and I am going to deliver what it takes. I am going to do all the hard work, all the mehnat that we say in Hindi, all the hard work that we are going to do to make sure that you clear CA Final Audit in January 26. And obviously this video is relevant for May 26 and onward attempts as well. For May 26, we are going up, we will be going up with all the revision videos for 100% of the topics in the new syllabus on this YouTube channel. So do subscribe this YouTube channel, because there is many content lined up for English. And secondly, you can also subscribe our Telegram channel, where we'll be sharing all the notes and all the updates about our resources. Secondly, do give your feedbacks on this video, because it really means a lot. I'm trying hard to catch up with the fluency of the English, and I am sure I guess I am doing it quite pretty well. So you can just maybe give your feedbacks. That will definitely motivate me to work hard on my English revision videos, and yes, it will definitely inspire me and motivate me. And about the revision videos, I've already told you the approach of revision video. What we are going to follow is, so this is our concept book SQC1 and SA220. This concept book is of just 160 pages. In the 160 pages, we have covered your 100% relevant portion for CA Final Audit. Yes, you heard it right, just 160 pages, and you will be done with CA Final Audit. We have presented it in a very tabular format so that you remember everything. And when you see the book, you will see the book. When you will see the book, you will say, oh, this much, only this much. We have to do just this much, and our CA Final Audit will be done. So your mind will be relaxed after seeing this book. And that's why we have created this book, so that you get to know audit, get to feel that audit is manageable, audit is doable. And obviously I know that many students, we have most of the orders from our South India students as well. So I know that my books are there, my books will be there with you. And here are our revision videos starting from our SQC1 and SA220. So what approach we will follow is, this is our concept book, and this is our handwritten notes which we prepare in class. So basically we have 2 classes as of now for Hindi medium students. First of all, in a Hindi language for English medium students. First of all, it's regular batch, which is of just 80 to 85 hours, and exam oriented batch 40 to 45 hours. You can comment down whichever batch you want earlier. So we will plan it to release it, launch it earlier for you all, so that you all get to learn with this material and with the approach that I will be teaching it in revision videos. Obviously revision videos will cover all the concepts in crisp and detailed manner, and with all the memory techniques that I have taught in the batch, so that you get to know these concepts concepts, you get to feel these concepts, and also you get to learn these concepts because you know, I have just done my 500 plus certified copy analysis. Let me tell you one thing, out of everything that I'm going to tell you about CA final audit, one thing is for sure and that will never change is the keywords. Right? If you write the keywords, you will get the marks. If you don't write the keywords, you will not get the marks. So it's up to you whether you want to follow the keywords approach or you want to follow that approach where you want to get all the exposure, the real life exposure of being an auditor, and then you have prepared yourself to be an engagement partner of a listed entity, but when it comes to writing, you are not able to write the keywords, and then you are not getting marks from ICAI. So my approach or my motive or my objective is to get you cleared anyhow in CA final audit and CA intermediate audit. Obviously SQC1 and SA220 is also present in CA intermediate audit. So my objective is just to get you cleared in CA final, CA intermediate audit in January 26 attempt or whatever attempt you have, because my approach is only we are going to do only those things which are exam relevant, exam oriented, and from exam perspective, so that you have to spend less efforts and you get more marks. So out of everything, I have told you everything that I wanted to say. Now let's start with our SQC1 and SQ220. These are our handwritten notes which we prepare in the class and which has all the complex topics broken down into simple concepts and simple flow techniques. So yes, start with the SQC1 and SQ220. The first question which comes to our mind is, what is the difference between SQC1 and SQ220? So SQC1 and SQ220 has two differences. First of all, the similarity between the two is both talks about the quality control. Both talks about the quality control in the firm. What quality control means, that whatever services that we are providing, we should maintain quality in those particular services. So both the similarity is one, that is they are both talks about the quality control, but the differences are, first of all, this SQC1 applies to entire firm. Like whatever for services for the firm is providing, this SQC1 will apply to all the services, and compared to SA220, this SA220 only apply to audits. It only apply to audits. It does not apply to all the services that the firm is providing. Secondly, SQC1 specifically applies to 4 types of services that we will teach in our CA final audit, or that are there in our CA final syllabus. That is audit, second is review, third is other assurance engagement, and fourth is related services engagement. This SQC1 applies on all the 4 services that the firm provides, while this SA220 applies only on the audit of financial statements. These are the 2 basic differences. Sir, in the question what we have to write, I am not able to identify, like, should I quote SQC1 or should I quote SA220? I will just tell you one thing, you can quote both. Whenever you are confused about anything, not just SQC1 and SA220, if you are confused about anything in CA final audit, like which clause to apply in professional ethics, should I write these 5 points or should I write these 5 points, you can write both the points, you can write all the points, you can combine all the answers and write your single answer. Let me tell you, if you will write more, your marks will not be deducted, but if you will write less, your marks will be deducted. So keep that in mind. If you are confused between SQC1 and SA220, quote both, it doesn't matter. Even quoting an essay doesn't carry any mark. I have already shown you in 500 plus certified copy analysis. If you know thoda bahut Hindi, you can definitely watch my 500 plus certified copy analysis video. But yes, I am assuring you, quoting an essay doesn't carry any marks at all. So don't worry about it. Your provisions has the marks, your points has the marks, your keywords has the marks. Quoting an essay, rarely out of 118 marks, maybe 1 mark can be given for quoting an essay, and that too in maybe May 25 it was given. In September 25 there were no marks for quoting an essay. So don't worry about it. Yes. So let's now study about the SQC1 and SA220. SQC1, the heading of SQC1 is, or rather the title of SQC1 is Quality Control for Firms that Perform Audit, Review of Historical Financial Information, because audit and review is of historical financial information, and other assurance and related service engagement. So 4 types of services are covered in SQC1. Talking about SA220, Quality Control for Audit of Financial Statements. It's just talked about audit of financial statement. So SQC1 applies to all type of engagement, SA220 applies to audit only. SQC1 applies to entire firm, while SA220 applies to particular audit only. Now the objectives for both are common. What is the objective? We have to develop a quality control system, a system in our organization that ensures quality, that provides us reasonable assurance. Which kind of reasonable assurance? That we are complying with our PRL requirements. Here, look at here. we are complying with our PRL requirements, that is professional, regulatory and legal requirements. And secondly, if we are complying with the PRL requirement, then whatever audit reports that we are making will be appropriate in the circumstances. So this is a common objective. Obviously it is not that relevant from your exams perspective, just you need to know that we have to get a reasonable assurance about PRL objectives, PRL requirements. PRL is professional, regulatory and legal requirements, so that our reports that are prepared are appropriate in the circumstances. Meaning, while if we have to give a modified opinion, we have explicitly stated in our report that it's a modified opinion. Okay? Yes. Next we will discuss about elements of quality control. So there are different elements of quality control. You don't have to learn them sequence, like what are the elements of quality control, what are the responsibilities of engagement partner. You don't have to learn it at the CA final level. I say I won't ask that question. You just have to know, okay, these are the elements of quality control, and inside those there are description given, which description you have to learn. So you don't have to learn about the what are the exactly the elements of quality control. I say I won't ask you to list down the elements of quality control, but you should know what are the elements of quality control. So first element for quality control is leadership responsibility for quality within the firm. So whenever we are talking about firm, it is automatically SQC1. Whenever we are talking specifically for audit, it is automatically SA220, just for your reference. But the crux, you know, if you are confused between two of the standards, then you can obviously go both the standard. Okay? Yes, sir. So we are talking about leadership responsibilities for quality within the firm. So within the firm, who are the leader? Our CEO, our managing director, our managing partner. So it says that within the firm, leadership has the responsibility for maintaining quality. And otherwise we can say that, in other words, quality control system should override our business strategy. This is our business strategy. Our business strategy is to earn maximum profits. So our business strategy, our quality control system should override the business strategy. The business strategy should be our lesser priority, and the quality control system should be our most priority. We should be providing services with quality. It should not be like, okay, we have to earn more profits and we have to earn more revenue, so take as many clients as we can. Whether we can provide with quality or not doesn't matter. It doesn't have to go like this. You have to follow quality control system. Quality control system should be your priority compared to your business strategy. And the question that will come, what heading the question will carry? The heading will be considerations to uphold quality. What firm considers to uphold quality, or what firm considerations to uphold quality? First two points are just in different words. In other words, first of all, the first point is commercial considerations should not override quality. Commercial considerations should not override quality means our commercial consideration is to earn profit. So our commercial consideration should not override quality. Quality should override commercial consideration. In other words, we should have an overriding commitment to quality. Our commitment to quality should be overriding. Our commitment to quality should be our priority, not our commercial considerations. So these are just in other words, like similar kind of a concept, but just in other words. So you can remember like these two. And if we want to provide some services with the quality to the client, then we will have to first obtain information about the client, like what is client, how is client, what are the operations of the client. We have to obtain some information, right? After that, we can provide services with quality, right? So we will have to obtain information about the client. For obtaining the information, we will have to deploy our resources, we will have to deploy our personnel, we will have to deploy our time and efforts to gather all the information about the client. So yes, sufficient resources is what we want to gather information about the client. Now these are 4 keywords for this particular topic, considerations to uphold quality. I can assure you, if you write all these 4 keywords, you will get 4 marks. After, obviously, around these you will have to write a few words, but if you write these 4 words and if you underline, then you will get all the 4 marks. You don't have to learn anything else. You don't have to by heart audit 100%. It's just the keyword that you need to by heart. It's just the keyword that you need to memorize. And if you understand the things and then you try to by heart, then obviously it's easier rather than directly by hearting it without understanding. So I will, in this revision video, I will make you understand. I will make you go through the flow of the concept, and then I will make you understand how you have to memorize it. So this is the 4 keywords that you have to memorize, and I have told you the flow in which you have to memorize this. Now let's come to our concept book first. Let's understand how it looks in our concept book, which you have to actually write in your paper is your concept book, but obviously keyword after underlining the keywords, and keywords can be understood from our handwritten notes. So you have to learn the keywords from the handwritten notes, but you have to write what content is written in a concept book, because obviously the context of the keyword in the handwritten note may be different from the context of the keywords mentioned in the concept book. Those handwritten notes are specifically for you to learn to memorize the flow of the technique, the technique's flow, like how we have to memorize the keywords. The handwritten notes are just for keywords, and your concept book is for writing, like what you have to write in your paper copy. And both the books are available on our website. If you want to buy, you can definitely purchase it. Okay? Yes sir. Chaliye. Next, we are talking about SQC1 and SA220. We have already discussed that SQC1 talks about quality control for firms that perform audits, review of historical financial information, other assurance, and related service engagement. SA220 talks about quality control for audit of financial statements. And SA220 is already premised, already assumes, premise means assume, already assumes that the firm is subject to quality SQC1, which means that the firm is applying SQC1, and after that we have formed SA220 assuming that the firm is already following SQC1. If the firm is not following SQC1, then SA220 doesn't have any relevance. That's what this line wants to say. So yes sir, SQC1 applies to all type of engagement, SA220 applies to audit engagement only. SQC1 applies to entire firm, while SA220 applies to particular audit engagement. This is not a CA final level question that ICA would ask, but yes, to understand, to differentiate between the questions, you need to identify this. Now objective, not that very important. Firm should establish quality control policies, quality control systems for reasonable assurance that provides reasonable assurance about two things. First of all, that the firm is complying with the PRL requirements. What is PRL? Professional, regulatory and legal requirements. And secondly, the reports that are issued by the firm are appropriate in the circumstances. Like regarding the circumstances, however we have to issue the report, we have issued the report appropriately. Okay? Yes sir. Next. Now we are talking about elements of system of quality control. In SQC1, it is called element of system of quality control. In SA220, it is called responsibilities of engagement partner in relation to following. Like engagement partner has what responsibilities? An engagement partner, who is an engagement partner? I hope you know this. He is the main head of the audit. He is the main auditor who has to sign the audited financial statements. Okay, you have to just understand this. Obviously, you know who is an engagement partner. So we don't have to learn these. We just have to understand, okay, this is an element of system of quality control. First element that we have already discussed, that is leadership responsibility for quality within the firm. And who is the leader of the firm? Either it can be CEO, MD, managing partner, anything. So firm quality control system, the main thing is that the firm's quality control system should override its business strategy. It should be ensured. What needs to be ensured? That considerations to uphold quality of the firm. We have to uphold the quality of the firm. Quality of the firm is our priority. And we have to learn 4 keywords here. What are the 4 keywords? First of all, commercial considerations do not override the quality. It means that we have overriding commitment to quality, where if we have to provide services with quality, we have to obtain vital information about the client, for which we will have to deploy sufficient resources. So these are 4 keywords that you will need to understand, you will need to memorize. And after that, around that, you can write a few words like firm assigns management responsibilities so that the commercial considerations do not override the quality of work performed, first of all. Secondly, firm's policy for its personnel shows that firm's overriding commitment to quality, like our personal work shows that we have an overriding commitment to quality. Third, before accepting any engagement, firm should obtain vital information about the client so that we can decide based on the integrity, competence, compliance with ethical requirements, and everything we will study in acceptance and continuance. Third element, what all vital information that we have to obtain about client. That's why I have kept a down arrow that we will understand it later. Next, the firm devotes sufficient resources for development of quality control policies. Quality control system policy, we have to deploy sufficient resources. Next, we talk about SA220. So it says leadership responsibility for quality on audit. Like leadership has the responsibility for maintaining quality on each audit engagement. Who is the leader in an audit? Engagement partner. So engagement partner has the responsibility to maintain quality on each audit. Now, what does the actions of engagement partner shall emphasize? So it says that the actions of engagement partner shall emphasize 2 things. First of all, the quality is essential, that is the quality is necessary. Secondly, the quality is important. Quality is essential, quality is important. This particular topic will come either in one of the question. Either it may ask leadership responsibility for quality on audit. Secondly, it may ask engagement partner is responsibility on quality of each audit engagement, explain. Or third, he may ask that actions of engagement partner shall emphasize something, explain. So you have to learn these headings as well, because we usually struggle in questions identification and audit. We know the answer, but we are not able to understand the question, like what the question is asking. But let me tell you, in all the ISI questions, there will be at least one line which will be hinting at what it wants to ask. Like if ISI wants to ask this question, this particular question, then in the entire case study, there will be one line which will mention either this line, either this line, or either this line. We have to just be able to identify which line is hinting towards the answer. We have to identify it. So we will have to link whatever we are studying to the heading that can make up the question. So basically, you don't have to just understand or learn these 4 keywords. You will also have to learn what heading comprise these answers, because that's the main issue that we are neglecting or ignoring while learning the answers. And that's the main issue for which we are facing this problem of question identification. You will have to understand this, and you will have to keep in your mind it, like you will have to be conscious about it. So first of all, what actions are EP should emphasize? First of all, that the quality is essential and quality is important. So quality, you have been bragging about quality so much right now. What is the difference, or what is the importance of quality, sir? Quality help us to comply with the outside and with the inside. With the outside, bahar wali, with the outside, and with the inside, like the affair and our wife. Like, so bahar wali means, or the outsider means PRL requirements, our outside requirements, PRL requirements, professional, regulatory and legal requirements. And inside means our firm's quality control policies, like our firm's inside, firm is our inside, so firm's quality control system. And if we are not complying with this, we have already informed our personnel, we have already informed our team that they can raise concerns without fear of reprisals. Reprisals means punishment, so they don't have to fear about any punishment that they might be getting if they are raising their concerns against their seniors to their bosses. So we have just told our team, if you find anything that is going wrong, you just raise your concerns. You will not be punished for anything that you are raising concern for. Okay, yes sir. And if we are able to do everything, then the quality will help us in making our report appropriate, because our main objective of auditor is, or the main outcome of auditors is auditor's report, and the auditor's report will be appropriate if we are able to work with quality. Okay, yes sir. So what we are saying is, actions of EP shall emphasize 2 things. Quality is essential, quality is important. Quality help us to comply with PRL and firm ke quality control system. If we are not complying, then the team can raise concerns without fear of reprisals, and if we do everything, then our reports will be appropriate in the circumstances. Got it? Yes sir. Next, the second element is ethical requirements. We should be ethically right. We should have met all the ethical requirements. The most important ethical requirement is, the basic requirement is independence. If an auditor is not independent, then the audit is void. Then we don't only believe the audit, only trust the audit. If the auditor the basic requirement of an auditor, it should be independent. He should be independent. Now I know as an engagement partner that I should be independent. Does my team know it? No. So I will have to communicate to all the personnel about my ethical requirements, and after communicating, I will have to monitor. I will have to see whether there are any threats to independence or threats to any ethical requirements. Whether I can see any danger to my ethical requirements. So I will have to identify the threats and evaluate the threats, whether the threats actually exist or not. And if they actually exist, then I will have to take actions to eliminate the threat. I will have to just eliminate. Suppose my article, he knows that the firm is going to make profit and the shares are going to jump. My articles buy the shares. Now this is an threat to our independence, because obviously as an auditor we need to be independent, and we cannot buy shares of the client. So first of all, we will try to act to eliminate the threat. So in this case, what we will do, we will just remove that article from our team so that we are independent again. So here it says that actions we have to take to eliminate the threat, or if we are not able to eliminate the threat, then we have to reduce the threat by applying safeguards. Now safeguards are those things through which we protect ourselves, or through which we reduce the threats to an acceptable level. Now we will discuss more about this in our professional ethics video. And yes, so we just reduce the threats through safeguards, and if we are not able to reduce the threat to safeguard, then we should withdraw. Withdraw means resigning from the audit, and it is the most biggest thing that an auditor can do is withdraw, because when a listed company auditor withdraws, the market crashes like anything, because everybody knows that if an auditor has withdrawn withdrawn, then it is a big issue in the company. It is a big loophole in the company that the auditor might have busted, and that's why the auditor has withdrawn. So we can even withdraw if the threats are significant. And lastly, after of all the everything that we have done, we have to just notify our firm about the independence breaches that have taken place. So basically we have 4 points here about the ethical requirements. Independence is a basic requirement. We have to communicate to all the personnel. We have identified and evaluate the threats. If there are threats, we have to take actions to eliminate or either reduce. If we are not able to reduce, withdraw, and everything about everything we have to promptly notify the firm about the independence breaches. Got it? Yes, sir. Now I have communicated my all personnel about the ethical requirements. When we study, we are not able to remember our yesterday's study only. So how we will remember the policies that we have studied 6 months ago? So here comes the requirement that annually, at least annually, here the main word is at least annually means we can take this written confirmation monthly as well, quarterly as well, half monthly as well, but we cannot take this written confirmation biannually. In 2 years, once in 2 years we cannot do it. Once in every 1 year we have to do it. So at least annually we have to take a written confirmation from all our personnel that they are complying with the ethical requirements. This is important so that we know that they know that what ethical requirements they have to comply with, and they have complied with the ethical requirement. That's the thing. So yes, next thing is familiarity threat. So familiarity threat is we are familiar with our client. We have developed a good close personal relationship with the client. That is familiarity threat. We will obviously discuss detail in our professional ethics. But if the same personnel is applied or the same personnel is hired for a long time with the client, like the audit and the client are in a relationship from a very long perspective, from very long time, then there comes a threat that is familiarity threat. And to safeguard from familiarity threat, there is a provision that we have to either rotate the engagement partner. Rotation means we have to change the engagement partner, or we have to bring in an EQCR, that is engagement quality control review. That is most important topic in this particular chapter, SQC1 and SQ20, that we have to bring an engagement quality control reviewer. We will talk about it later, but yeah, either you can rotate or you can bring an EQCR. About the rotation, there is a provision that if you are a listed company, if you are auditing a listed company, and if you are an engagement partner, then you should be rotated in at least 7 years. This is an MCQ point. This is also an MCQ point. Obviously, there are many MCQ points in this, and we will definitely discussing all the MCQ points. And firstly, it says that if you are auditing a listed company, then the engagement partner should be rotated in at least 7 years. Sir, can the engagement partner be rotated in 5 years? Yes, because it says at least 7 years. You can obviously rotate it in 1 year only, but you cannot rotate after 8 years. You will have to rotate after 7 years. Okay? Yes, sir. And sir, this particular provision is not applicable if it is a sole proprietorship who is doing the audit, because in case of sole proprietorship, they have a liability to rotate after 5 years. They don't have to wait for 7 years. They have to rotate after 5 years. Okay? Yes, sir. This was the second element. Let's first of all clear it from our concept book. So what we were discussing about the first element of SA220, that is leadership responsibility for quality on audit. Here it talks about audit, here it talks about firm. You got the difference? Yes, sir. So leadership responsibility, who is the leader in the audit, sir? Engagement partner. So engagement partner has the responsibility for overall quality on each audit engagement. What shall the actions of engagement partner emphasize, sir? 2 things. First of all, the quality is essential in performing the audit engagement. Secondly, the quality is important. Why the quality important? First of all, so that we perform work that complies with PRL requirements. Secondly, we comply with our firm quality control system policies and procedures. Thirdly, engagement team has the ability to raise concerns without the fear of reprisals, that is without the fear of punishment. And lastly, we issue audit reports that are appropriate in the circumstances. Okay? Yes, sir. This was the first element. I hope you know. From this video, I just want to tell you the memory technique that you have to understand. You have to memorize the keywords that you have to use to memorize the keywords, because the keywords are the most important thing. For the concept book, you can just read this 2-3 times. All the concepts you can just read it through 2-3 times, so that you understand what you have to write in those blue words, because obviously you cannot just write keywords. You will have to write 2-3 words around there. So you will have to understand from this, like what keywords, what words you can use around those keywords. But keywords are important. If you will not mention the keywords, you will not get marks. As simple as that. Second element is ethical requirements. And ethical requirement, this is a common element, so it doesn't have a table like structure. It is a common element from both the side SQC1 and SA220. So whether it's a question of SQC1, whether it's a question of SA220, I would recommend you, what you have to do is you will have to just mention this ethical requirement, this particular point 2 times. Just mention as per SQC1, you can mention everything. As per SA220, you have to mention everything. So there is some very small difference between SQC1 and SA220 second element. So what I have done is I have just combined both the points so that you don't have to remember, okay, what this was the difference in SQC1 and SA220. I just want to reduce your efforts. I just want to reduce your efforts so that you have to do some efforts and you can score more marks. Because obviously, sir, if you will write 1 point more in SQC1 or 1 point more in SA220, it doesn't matter. ICA will give you full marks. So what you have to do is you have to write both the things. Like you have to write this thing 2 times in your answer sheet whenever a question comes of ethical requirements. First, as per SQC1, this point, as per SA220, same points. Okay, yes sir. So ethical requirements, independence is basic requirement. What policies and procedures? First of all, communicate entire independence requirements to its all personnel. We have to communicate our independence requirements to all the personnel. Secondly, we have to identify and evaluate those circumstances and relationships that create a threat to independence. Thirdly, we have to take appropriate action to eliminate the threat or either reduce them to an acceptably low level. Either eliminate or reduce, or if you are not going to do anything or if you are not able to do anything, then you can withdraw from the engagement if it is appropriate. Next, independence, and whatever you have done, please promptly notify to the firm for appropriate action. As soon as possible, notify this to the firm so that they can take appropriate action as required as per the laws and regulations. Okay, yes sir. Next, at least annually we have to obtain written confirmation of compliance with our independence policies and procedure from all the firm personnel. All okay, yes sir. Note, familiarity threat, when it applies familiarity threat, when we are using the same personnel over prolonged period, over a long period of time, we are the same client and we have the same auditor, then the familiarity threat may exist where we become too sympathetic to the other's partner interest. Okay, yes sir. So what are the safeguards in familiarity threat? We can rotate either the personnel, like we can rotate the engagement partner, or we can use EQCR, engagement quality control reviewer. In the listed entity, engagement partner has to be rotated in at least 5 years, except in case of sole practitioner. Like in the case of sole practitioner, obviously the limit is 5 years. Therefore, in the firm, in partnership firm, in LLP, the engagement partner should be rotated in at least 7 years. Okay, yes sir. Next, third element of quality control is acceptance and continuance of client relationships and specific engagement. Whether we should accept the client or not, whether we should continue this relationship or not, we will have to discuss this here. So first of all, it is saying that before accepting an engagement, we should obtain vital information about the client, which we studied in considerations to uphold quality of the firm, that we should obtain vital information about the client. Now here, with the client, about the client, we have to obtain only one information, and about us, we have to obtain two information. One information about the client, that is he integrity or not? Does he have integrity or not? And secondly, from our perspective, we have to obtain two information. First of all, whether we are competent to perform this engagement, and secondly, whether we comply with all the ethical requirements to performing this engagement, and between those, whether there were any significant matters during the current or previous audit engagement. And this particular point is present in your SA220, which was asked in an MCQ. Like as per like the MCQ was as per SA220, what all matters, what all information that we have to obtain about the client. So the options were these and also this. So we have to mention that all the 4 information we have to obtain about the client. Okay, yes sir. One thing about the client, that is integrity. 2 things about us, that is competence and ethical requirements, and 1 thing between both of them, that is significant matter. You have to remember about this. Now if we find any issue, like in terms of integrity, we are not finding that the client is integrity, or we are not competent enough, we don't have that capability to perform this engagement, still if we are accepting this engagement, still if we are continuing this engagement, then if the issues are identified and instead of that we are continuing with the engagement or accepting the engagement, then we have to document how we have resolved the issues. Like whether we have just ignored the issue or we have actually resolved the issue, we have to identify that. And the memory technique for remembering this is, before accepting any relationship, what do? Is we do every shadi. I see every shadi. What? I see every shadi. Shadi is basically wedding. In Hindi, it's called shadi. So I see every shadi means I say integrity, C say S say self-check, that is I see self-competence, E say ethicals, and shadi S say significant matter. So I see every shadi, I see 4 things: integrity, competence, ethical, and significant matter. Okay, yes sir. And up now we are going to discuss individually about all the points, like how we will have to check these. Ethical requirement we have already discussed about second element of our quality control. Now we will discuss independently about integrity and then about competence. First of all, we have to see what matters we need to consider while checking integrity of the client. First of all, I will see, okay, you are coming up with me for any services, like client wants any audit services. So now I will ask client why you have not appointed your previous firm and why you want to appoint me, why the previous firm was not appointed, reappointed, and why you want to appoint me, first of all. And secondly, now I will understand client meaning, first of all, I will check his nature of operations, what the client is actually doing. Secondly, how he is doing it, what is the identity and business reputation. Thirdly, I will have to check what's the attitude of their owners, like key stakeholders, their TCWG, their management. Is their attitude like that they will keep a limitation on my scope, they will not allow me to work on inventories, or maybe work on trade receivables, or maybe gather some evidence about revenue. Is there any limitation on scope, or they are keeping my fees as low as possible? Why they are keeping my fees as low as possible? Because they are not earning any money from money laundering. That's just for context or understanding this flow technique from memory technique for keywords, but obviously the context of the keywords can be seen from the concept book. So these are 7 points that we have to check while checking the integrity of the client. First of all, why it is not reappointing the previous firm, why it is appointing us. So it may be the possibility that the previous firm has issued qualified opinion and that's why it was removed, and that's why the client is coming to us, so we should not accept this engagement. Secondly, we will see the client. In client, we will see their nature of operations, what is the integrity and business reputation, and how they will deal with me, like what is the attitude. Is their attitude there like that they will be putting a limitation on scope of me, or they will keep a fees low as possible because they are not earning from money laundering. Okay, yes sir. And the memory technique is, these are the red flags, 7 red flags in a relationship. Rishta is basically your relationship, so these are 7 red flags in a relationship. Whenever we are going to see a bride, a to-be bride or a to-be groom, we see all these red flags, why the previous bride or groom has rejected him or her, what are the nature of the bride or groom, what are the identity and business reputation of the family, and what is the attitude of the bride or groom, to be bride or groom, like for whatever we are seeing the relationship with. Will he keep the limitation on me? For girls, will it not allow me to go out, and will it not allow me to work? Will it demand less fees or demand less dowry because he is involved in money laundering? Is he involved in money laundering or criminal activity? So this was a kind of a 7 red flags when we are checking the integrity of our client. Second thing we are checking is competence. In competence, there are 4 things: capability, competence, time, and resources. CCTR. Capability, competence, time, and resources. We have to check whether we have this CCTR for accepting this engagement or not. First of all, from the words itself, we have the memory technique. First is capability. We have to check whether we have the knowledge of the industry which we are going to audit, and we have the experience of the PRL requirements that are applicable in this industry. First of all is capability. Second, time. Can we manage the deadline? Can we work under the deadline that is given to us? Can we fulfill the work within the deadline or not? Next, resources. Do we have sufficient personnel? If not, then do we have experts and EQCR are available or not to perform this work? So with this is the 4 we have to see. We have to, when we are accepting the engagement or continuing the engagement, we have to see our capability, competence, time, and resources. Okay, perfect. And last thing in this particular third element is, if there is any information which we come to know about post accepting this engagement, had it been known earlier prior to accepting the engagement, then we would have declined the engagement. If we are getting to know about that information now, then what we have to do? First of all, we have to see our PRL requirements. Anywhere, anytime, SQC1, SA220, just write PRL, you will get at least 1 mark in most of the cases. So PRL responsibilities, like we have to communicate this about to the persons who have made our appointment or to the regulators. And secondly, is there any possibility of withdrawing? And if there is possibility of withdrawing, then we have to see policies on withdrawal, because we cannot just withdraw just like that. We have to maintain the decorum. Since we are an auditors, we cannot just say, okay, I will not do your audit from now. We have to follow a process. So it is saying you need to see policies on withdrawal. First of all, you will discuss it with your management. Whenever we want to break up with our girlfriend or boyfriend, we first discuss, okay, these are the issues in you and this is the thing that is bothering me. So we have to discuss with the management. Secondly, if the boyfriend or girlfriend is not accepting this or is reluctant to accept his mistake, his or her mistakes, then we decide that it is appropriate to break up. Now it is appropriate to withdraw. So if it is appropriate to withdraw, we will discuss our PRL responsibilities, like we have to communicate to our appointment, the persons who made the appointment or the regulators. In this case, we discuss, maybe may discuss with our parents, okay, this is the girl or this is the boy who is doing like things like this, and I want to break up, I don't want to continue this, maybe in terms of marriages as well. And lastly, we have to document significant issues so that we don't do this mistake again when we are selecting our clients, so that we maintain a journal. Okay, my girlfriend or my husband or wife was like that, and I don't have to accept now any girl or boy to do these things to me afterwards. So we have to document all the significant issues that we find in the audit, so that afterwards, if anyone comes to check our work or check the quality of our work, we can definitely show them that this is the document where all the significant issues are mentioned, because of which we withdraw from the audit engagement. Okay, yes sir, these are the 4 points that you have to write on policies of withdrawal, or these are the 6 points that you have to write when the information is known to you, that would have known earlier, you would have declined the engagement. Okay, yes sir, let's discuss from our concept book, or let's do one more topic and then we can discuss everything from our concept book. Your fourth element, that is your human resources. We should have sufficient human resources. The most important human resource, you have to understand, you have to learn this point, like the most important human resource is engagement partner. So in this particular point, we have to talk about the engagement partner's responsibility. First of all, the engagement partner responsibility is to be capable, competent, have time and resources. So CCTR. Secondly, the engagement partner responsibility should be defined, like written somewhere and communicated. The engagement partner should already know that his responsibilities, which are his responsibilities. And thirdly, the engagement partner responsibilities should be communicated to the client, so that it is not misunderstood. So 3 points are there in human resources, engagement partner responsibility. First of all, he should have CCTR. Secondly, it should be defined and communicated to the engagement partner, and it is communicated to the client. Okay, yes sir, let's discuss it from our concept book. We are talking about the third element, that is acceptance and continuance of client relationship and specific engagement. Before accepting the engagement, we have to obtain vital information about the client. One, information about the client. Two, information about ourselves. One, information, that is integrity of client. Two, information, that is first of all competence, like CCTR, capability, competence, time and resources to perform the engagement. And secondly, the compliance with the ethical requirements, and between both of them, whether there were any significant matters that were arisen during the current or previous audit engagement. Okay, yes sir, if we find any issues in any of the above, then and with the issues we decide to continue or accept the relationship, then we have to document how the issues were resolved. Okay, yes sir, I have mentioned the question number here. In case if you are having my question bank, you can definitely follow the question numbers that I have mentioned here. So we have created a unique question bank that you will never find anywhere. We have created a 2-part of question bank, part 1 and part 2. In part 1 of the question bank, we have included only those questions that are interpretational, analytical in nature, in which you will have to think and then answer. And in the part 2 question bank, we have included all the direct question, the questions from which you, from the last line of the question, you will understand what the question requires. So if you have less time, you can just skip out the part 2 and you can just do the part 1 of the question bank. That's way we have invited, or we have included in our question bank, so that you have to put less efforts and you can cover more questions in the question bank. And with the question bank, we have highlighted, obviously our question bank is colorful. I can show it just a glimpse of our question bank, that would be helpful to you to decide. First of all, you can see this is our question bank. So what we have done is, we have obviously, the question bank is sequence wise from our concept book. We have written the topic from where the question is asked. So there all the topics, one particular topic, all the questions are there in the listed in the same topic, and the question are sequence wise to the concept book. We will do one concept from the concept book, and then we will do that particular question from the question bank itself in a sequence way manner in our batch, obviously. And this question has all the question is described very nicely, and the answer are in color highlighted part. The whole question bank is color coded, and the keywords are highlighted in red for you to understand, so that when you are when you want to skim through the question bank, you can directly skim through the question bank in your last phases. And we have also highlighted the main parts of the question bank. If you can see here, just a second, this is already printed in your question bank. When you will receive the printed question bank, you will see the questions are also highlighted. The main crux of the question is highlighted for you to understand what the question wants to say. You don't have to read the whole question. when you are in your second or third revision, you just have to read the crux of the question from the questions highlighted and the crux of the keywords, the crux of the answers from the keywords highlighted, and you are done. So this is the way that we have prepared our question bank, because we know that's a question bank, doing question bank and then doing concept book or doing concept book question bank is quite difficult in audit. So we have done something to reduce our efforts in question bank as well. Everything is planned according to your strategy, your efforts, so that you have to put less efforts and you can get more marks. That is the main thing that we are working towards right now, and that is already we have already done in the past 1.5 years for all the students, and now we are here for you guys as well. Chaliye. Next, we have to discuss about the matters to be considered with regard to integrity of the client. Regarding the integrity of the client, first of all, what were the reasons for the proposed appointment of our firm and non-reappointment of the previous firm? Secondly, we will see the client. What we will see the client, first of all, what is the nature of operations? How he is managing it, like the identity and business reputation of client. Secondly, what is the attitude of the client's principal owners, key management and TCWG? Third, is their attitude, they indicate that they will keep a limitation in scope of work? Is there something like that the client is concerned with maintaining my firm fees as low as possible, like he is not allowing me to charge fees so that I don't do quality work and all the inadequacies and all the fallacies in the work can be hidden? Is it something like that? And lastly, is there any indication that the client might be involved in money laundering or other criminal activities, like the ED department has raided on my client? Now it is an indication that the client might be involved in other criminal or money laundering activities. So there is an issue involved, and if I am accepting this client, then I will have to document how I have resolved this issue. Okay, yes sir. Matters to be considered with regard to CCTR, that is capabilities, competence, time and resources. First of all, I should talking about capability, I should have knowledge of the relevant industry, I should have experience of the PRL requirements, or I should have ability to gain necessary skills and knowledge. Secondly, talking about time, I should complete the engagement within the reporting deadline. Thirdly, resources, I should have sufficient personnel with necessary capabilities and competence. If I don't have them, then are the experts available, and are the EQCR available or not? EQCR is engagement quality control reviewer, which we are just going to study now. So if we are coming to know of the information that would, if we have known the information earlier, we have declined the engagement, we would have declined the engagement. So what we will do now, first of all, we will see our PRL responsibilities, like whether we should report to the person who had made our appointment or to the regulatory authorities. Is there any possibility of withdrawing from the engagement? And if there is any possibility, then we will see the policies on withdrawal from the engagement. First of all, we will discuss with the client management and TCWG that we are taking this action. You can also if you want to resolve something, you can resolve now, otherwise we will withdraw. We will give a threatening or an intimidation to the client or TCWG. Secondly, if the firm now determines that it is appropriate to withdraw, then we will discuss with the client management and TCWG that we are withdrawing and the reasons for the withdrawal. Thirdly, we will consider our PRL requirements or we will report withdrawal with reasons to the regulatory authority, whether we have to report or not. And lastly, we will document all the significant issues, conclusions and basis for conclusions that we were able to form till now in this audit engagement. Okay, yes sir. Next, our fourth element is, look at here, next four element is human resources. The policies and procedure for human resources. Human resources we will need to understand, the most important is EP. So we will talk about EP key responsibilities. So EP has appropriate CCTR, that is capability, competence, time and resources, authority and time to perform the role. Secondly, responsibilities of EP should be clearly defined and communicated to that partner, and the identity and role of EP should be communicated to clients management and TCWG as well. Okay, yes sir. Now we are starting with most important topic of SQC1 and SA220. Look at here, SQC1 and SA220, that is EQCR. So this is the fifth element of our SQC1 and SA220. Let's get on to our second handwritten notes, because it was covered in the second lecture. This is engagement performance, the fifth element of our SQC1 and SA220. Just one more thing you have to understand before coming to EQCR is, first of all, if there is any difficult or contentious matter, contentious meaning controversial. So whenever there is any jargon or any typical word, we have already included a simpler version in our concept book. You can see contentious, controversial in bracket, so that you know that what does this word mean. You don't have to scratch your head like what is contentious, what is contentious. We have already done all the efforts and all the analysis that is required for students to use this book very comprehensively and very easily. Okay, yes sir. So difficult and contentious matter, if there are any difficult or contentious matters, then we can take consultations and this consultation can occur from within the firm and outside the firm as well. It is not there's no restriction that you have to consult only within the firm. You can consult outside the firm as well. Don't worry about it. Now let's come to the main topic, that is EQCR. First of all, the EQCR should be the member of ICAI, no doubt about it. He should be a CA. He or she should be a chartered accountant, first of all. Secondly, he should be a suitably qualified external person to the team. Now it says that it should be external to the team. He should not be part of the team. Otherwise, if he is part of the team and he is working with the team, then there will be a self-review thread. Like whatever work he has done, he will have to review his work only. Then there will be a self-review thread. Therefore, it should be external to the team. Can the EQCR be of the same firm? Yes. Can the EQCR be of another firm? Yes. Both are allowed, but he should be external to the team and he should be suitably qualified. He should have the relevant experience and expertise to be an EQCR. Secondly, it can be an individual, so there can be a team of above. Thirdly, in case of listed entity, if you want to be an EQCR of listed entity, you should have the same experience and authority to act as an engagement partner. Like if the another day the firm wants to appoint you as an engagement partner of a listed entity, you should have that same experience and authority if you want to be an EQCR of a listed entity. In the listed entity, there is mandatory requirement to appoint an EQCR. In others, the firm may develop in criteria. Okay, so above 50 crore turnover, if there is any company we are auditing, we will appoint an EQCR. That's for the firm to develop his own criteria. Otherwise, for listed entity, that is mandatory to appoint an EQCR. Next, would the EQCR will review all the audit documentation, everything in the audit? No, he don't have so much of the time. He will just review all your significant judgments. He has the responsibility to review only your significant judgments. And secondly, the engagement partner should not assume that there is an EQCR, so he will review our audit engagement, so my responsibility will reduce, my responsibility will go away. It's not like that. EQCR is just a reviewer for expressing an opinion on the financial statement. EP has the sole responsibility. There is sole responsibility of engagement partner, whether be it here in case of EQCR, whether it's SS600, SS620, SS610, everywhere the responsibility of EP is same. It does not reduce the responsibilities of EP. Okay, yes sir. Next, let's talk about SQC1. First of all, can we do consultations with the EQCR? Like EP has some significant matter that he is not able to take decisions alone. Can we consult with the EQCR? Yes, you can consult with the EQCR, but please ensure that the EQCR is objective. He should be objective. You should not involve so much, you should not involve in so much in your consultations that he doesn't remain objective when he is going to review his own judgments. Okay, so he should remain objective. Secondly, but he cannot participate in your audit. You cannot ask EQCR to do audit procedures. He have to review your audit procedures. You cannot ask him to execute your audit procedures. And thirdly, he should not take any of your decisions. You can just consult him. You can just take advice from him, but you cannot ask him to decide for himself what is going to be done in the audit, because he is obviously going to review those decisions. So there will be a self-review thread. So you can take consultation from EQCR, no doubt about it, but he should be objective. He should not participate and he should not take any decision. Engagement partner may consult, but it should not compromise the objectivity and eligibility of EQCR. Okay, yes sir. Does EP himself appoint the EQCR? It will be the same as you are appointing your own checker that will check your self-certified copy. That obviously not possible. So EP himself does not appoint an EQCR. Obviously it is appointed based on firm's quality control system and policies, and there should be a formal engagement letter between EQCR and EP. It's not like, okay, I will be your EQCR from now and we don't sign anything. We have to sign a formal engagement letter between EQCR and EP. That's part of your MCQ, not even in your ICA module, but ICA has asked in the MCQ. Okay, yes sir. If we want to do any significant consultations with the EQCR, we have to ensure that the EQCR is objective. If we think that after the consultation the EQCR will not be objective, then we have to hire another person as an EQCR, or we have to use another person for consultation, but we cannot use EQCR for a significant consultation through which the EQCR won't be objective. We have to change the EQCR or we have to use another person for consultation. Okay, yes sir. Next thing, what are the matters that the EQCR consider in case of listed entity? That is an important question in EQCR perspective. From an EQCR perspective, in listed entities, as an EQCR, what are the matters that I consider as per SQC1? This is answer as per SQC1. First of all, I am an EQCR. I am reviewing the quality with which the audit team has performed his work. First of all, the most important, the basic requirement that I will have to check is whether the engagement team is itself independent or not. Like if the engagement team is not independent, then how will, what quality they would perform the work with? So I will have to check first of all whether the engagement team is independent or not. If the engagement team is not independent, then this risk is a significant risk. If independence is not there, then this risk is a significant risk. Now, how did I find out that this risk is a significant risk? Based on my judgment. I made my judgment that this is a significant risk. Based on judgment, I decide that this misstatement is a significant misstatement. Now, if I find any significant misstatement, I will select all the working papers. I will select the working papers and check what they have done, and with that I will also take appropriate consultations and form my own conclusions. If I find any material misstatement, look at here guys, if I find any material misstatement, I will select the working papers and then see the procedures, and then I will take appropriate consultations and conclusions, and then finally I will communicate everything with the management so that the reports that the auditor has prepared are appropriate in the circumstances. So this is obviously the context of this keywords. These are all the keywords, 8 keywords that I have told you. The context in which I have used here is obviously not the same as the context in which they have been used in the concept book, but this flow is formed to make you learn these keywords well. So basically we have to learn 8 keywords here, or 8 points here. First of all, the most important matter for EQCR to consider in listed entity is independence. If we are not independent, then this risk is significant risk. How do we know that this risk is significant risk? Based on our judgment. Based on our judgment, we also know that the misstatement is significant. If there is any significant misstatement, then we have to select working papers and see the appropriate consultations and conclusions that we can see in the working paper. Also, for significant misstatement, we can communicate with the management. This is everything is done so that our reports are appropriate in the circumstances. Okay, yes sir. Next we talk about SA 220. What are the EP responsibilities as an engagement partner? What is my responsibility with respect to EQCR? What is my responsibility with respect to EQCR? First of all, I will have to check whether the EQCR is appointed or not. This is a basic requirement. But we get to know that the EQCR is required since we are doing an audit of listed entities and we have not appointed an EQCR only. So first of all, as an engagement partner, my responsibility is to check if the EQCR is appointed or not. Secondly, to discuss all the significant matter. If he is appointed, then discuss all the significant matter, but he should be objective. We can just discuss. We cannot ask him to make decisions. So we can discuss significant matter. And thirdly, and most important, that can frame in a question. Thirdly, that you should not report your date. You should not put a date on your report till the EQCR is completed. Till this review is completed, you cannot date your audit report. Why, sir? Because in SA 700, when we'll read SA 700, we will discuss that the date of auditor's report is not put until we have got all the sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. And if the EQCR is not completed, then we cannot say that we have got all the sufficient and appropriate audit evidence. After the EQCR completion, we can say that we have got sufficient and appropriate audit evidence, and then only we can put a date on our auditor's report. So I hope you are understanding this. This is the 3 main responsibilities of engagement partner with respect to EQCR. First of all, check if he is appointed or not. If he is appointed, discuss significant matter. After discussion, after the EQCR completion, you can put a date on your audit report. Okay? Yes, sir. Next is the most important thing for an EQCR, or the most important work of an EQCR is to review your significant judgments. I told you, right? He doesn't have to review the whole audit. He just have to review the significant judgments that is made by the engagement team. So EQCR will do an evaluation of significant judgments. Now here, what things he will have to consider by evaluating the significant judgment. First of all, discussion with the engagement partner. The significant judgment, since they are significant, they have been made by the engagement partner only. So let's discuss with the engagement partner what all significant judgment he have made. Engagement partner will obviously say that we have all made the significant judgment. We have made all the correct significant judgments and the judgments are accurate, but we don't care about it. We obviously have to check further. So discussion with the engagement partner. If the engagement partner say yes, that we have made all the correct significant judgment, then we will review their documentation. We cannot rely on just engagement partners' wordings. We have to review the documentation. Now, why we will review the documentation? Of what documentation we will have to review, sir? We will have to review financial statements and auditor's report. We will have to documentation with 2 things: financial statements and auditor's report. Sir, financial statement, we understand we are auditing the financial statement, so we will review the financial statement. So why we need to review the auditor's report? Because we need to see what the conclusions the auditor has formed are appropriate or not. That's why we need to review the auditor's report. This is the memory technique for you to understand or learn these 4 keywords. So what is the memory technique? First of all, we have to evaluate the significant judgment. Who makes the significant judgment? Engagement partner. So we have to discuss with engagement partner. If he says everything is correct, then we will review the documentation. What kind of documentation, sir? Financial statements and auditor's report. Financial statement is okay. Why auditor's report? Because we need to see whether the conclusions that are there in the auditor's report are appropriate or not. Okay, yes sir, I know I am going a bit faster, but that is important so that I can cover this in a detailed and crisp manner and with in less time as possible. Okay, yes sir. Next we talk about the SA 220 part. We have already discussed the matters which the EQCR must consider in listed entities. Now we have to see what are the matters that the EQCR must consider in listed entities, and this is as per SA 220. So, sir, what is the difference if the question asked by ICI that what are the matters considered by EQCR in case of listed entity, whether we will write SQC1 or we will write SA220? If you are smart, if you have heard what I have said earlier, you have to write both. You can write both. Don't get confused. Don't get complex. Don't make it more complex. It's already complex, so don't make it more complex. You should write both the points. Both there were around 8 points, and now here around 3 points. You have to write both the points so that ICI suggested answer. If ICI suggested answer as SQC1, they will give marks according to that. If ICI suggested answer as SA220, they will give marks according to that. Don't make it more complex, please. Don't make it more complex. Whatever answer you think fits, you write. Whether it 2, whether it 3, you can write 3 answers as well. Don't worry about it. Writing more doesn't get you less marks, but writing less gets you less marks. Okay, yes sir. So yes, we are talking about matters which are need to be considered by EQCR in listed entities, and this is as per SA 220. So these are all the matters that we have already discussed in SQC1. The first and foremost matter, the most important matter that EQCR needs to consider, that we have discussed in SQC1 as well, that was independence, whether the engagement team is independent or not. Because if the engagement team is not independent, then there is no purpose of doing EQCR. Then there is no use of doing EQCR. Okay, yes sir. Second, we will see the consultations and the conclusions that we have formed, and lastly we will see the significant judgments that they have formed and their conclusions. So 3 things we have to consider while as an EQCR of listed entity in case of SA 220. Okay, yes sir. Now let's discuss first of all everything from our concept book, and then we will move forward. Now it talks about first of all the 5th element. We are here at 5th element, that is engagement performance. In that one line we have to understand, or we have to keep in mind, is the consultation. If we want to consult, then we can consult in difficult or contentious matter. What is contentious? That is controversial matter. You have a different opinion, I have a different opinion. So consultation can take place in different or contentious matters with the individuals within or outside the firm. Within the firm or outside the firm as per your choice. There is no restriction on it. Okay? Yes sir. Next we talk about EQCR, engagement quality control review. We are doing engagement quality control review, and the one who does the EQCR is known as engagement quality control reviewer. Okay, yes sir. So we are doing an EQCR. First of all, the EQCR should be a member of ICI, which means he should be CA. He should be say CA. Secondly, it should be an internal. It can be internal or suitably qualified external person to the team. The person should be either internal to the firm or external suitably qualified person, but he should be external to the team. Matlab capability and competence to act as EP. He should have capabilities and competence to act as engagement partner, or it can be a team made of such individuals. Either a single person can be known as an EQCR, or EQCR can be a different team in itself. Okay, yes sir. For audit of listed entity, EQCR should have sufficient and appropriate experience and authority to act as engagement partner. In case of listed entity, this requirement is mentioned. Okay, yes sir. Now does EQCR review all the audit? No sir. The EQCR reviews only significant judgments in the audit engagement, and these significant judgments review does not reduce responsibilities of EP in any way. Even 1% of the responsibility is not reduced of engagement partner. The signing responsibility is of engagement partner only. Okay, yes sir. And this EQCR is mandatory for audit of listed entities. For others, the firm should form a criteria for EQCR. Yes sir. Yes sir. Let's talk about SQC1. First of all, what are the consultations with the EQCR? First of all, can we have a consultation with the EQCR? First, yes, we can have a consultation with the EQCR, but he should be objective. He should not participate in engagement, and he should not make decisions for the team. Okay, otherwise it will be a self-review threat. Secondly, engagement partner, if he wants, he may consult with the EQCR during the engagement, but the consultation should not compromise his objectivity and eligibility to be an EQCR. If consultations become significant, EQCR should remain objective. If EQCR remaining objective is not possible, then we should hire another person as EQCR or for consultation. We cannot do EQCR plus significant consultation together. Okay, yes sir. Next, what are the matters to be considered by EQCR for audit of listed entities? For listed entities, what are the matter? The first and foremost important matter is independence. We should evaluate the firm's independence for specific engagement. Secondly, significant risk identified during the engagement and what responses they give to those risks. Third, the judgments made, particularly materiality and significant risk. Next, significance, like what are the misstatements that are corrected and uncorrected, and what is the significance of those misstatements that were identified during the audit. Next, whether the working papers that we have selected for our review reflect that the significant judgments were adequate and the conclusions reached were supported. Next, whether the appropriate consultation has been taken place and the conclusions from those consultation are appropriate or not. And lastly, lastly, matters to be communicated to management or TCWG and other parties such as regulatory bodies. And lastly, whether the report that has been issued is appropriate or not. These are all the matters which we need to consider as an EQCR in case of listed entity. Okay, yes. Next, SA 220, what we talk about SA 220. First of all, what is the engagement partner responsibility with respect to EQCR? What is this responsibility? First of all, he will have to check whether the EQCR is appointed or not. Determine EQCR has been appointed. Secondly, discuss the significant matter arising to the audit. Thirdly, not date the auditor's report until the completion of EQCR. After the EQCR is completed, you can date your auditor's report. Okay, yes, sir. Next, we talk about EQCR's objective evaluation of significant judgment. We have to objectively evaluate the significant judgments. For objective evaluation, so first of all, we will discuss significant matters with engagement partner. We will have a discussion with the engagement partner. Secondly, we will review the selected documentation relating to the significant judgments and the conclusion, like the documentation, how procedures have been performed, what conclusions were reached. We will review the selected documentation. Thirdly, we will review the financial statement and auditor's report. And lastly, we will evaluate the conclusions reached and whether the proposed auditor's report is appropriate or not. And this was the question which was asked in your September 25 attempt as well. Okay, yes, sir. Next, we talk about what are the matters that need to be considered by EQCR in case of listed entities. This is as per SA 220. This is as per SQC 1. If a question comes, you have to write both. Okay, yes, sir. First of all, the same first point, team's evaluation of firm's independence, whether they were independent in audit engagement or not. Secondly, whether appropriate consultation has taken place involving difference of opinion. We can have a difference of opinion. You can have a different opinion. I can have a different opinion. So, a difference of opinion, or maybe the consultation can be for difficult or contentious matters as well, and what were the conclusions that were arising from the consultations. Secondly, whether the audit documentation selected reflects that the significant judgments were correct and supports the conclusion that were reached after taking the significant judgment. So basically, independence, conclusions, significant judgments and conclusions, and thirdly, contentious matters and conclusions. Okay, yes, sir. Next, we talk about the documentation part. So now we are going to talk about SQC 1 and SA 220 documentation part. Like, as an EQCR, I will also have to make a documentation for myself, like what works I have done, and how, obviously we will discuss what you have to document. But as an EQCR, I will also have to maintain my own documentation. I just cannot review and tick. I will have to maintain my own documentation. This was also asked in your September 25 exams. So yes, what documentation we will have to maintain? First of all, what procedures we have performed. Have we completed our procedures before the audit? Since we told that only after the completion of EQCR, the audit report can be dated. So were we able to complete our procedures before the date of auditor's report? And third, whether we find any unresolved matters or not after performing our procedures. So three points we have to document about as an EQCR. First of all, what procedures we have performed, were the procedures completed before the audit, and were we able to identify any unresolved matter or not? Or in unresolved matter, the context of unresolved matter keyword is that we were not aware of any unresolved matter that causes us to believe that significant judgments were not appropriate. Like it is saying that we have completed our EQCR and we have to conclude that we have resolved all the matters and the significant judgments are appropriate. We have resolved all the matters and the significant judgments are appropriate. We have to conclude this, but they are saying in a negative way. They are saying that we are not aware of any unresolved matters that causes us to believe that significant judgments are not appropriate. We don't know any matter. We don't know any unresolved matter. Like we are not believing that we don't have any matter that causes us to believe that significant judgments were not appropriate, which means that the significant judgments were appropriate. We have to conclude, but in a negative way. You know about negative assurance, review, give negative assurance. If you have read audit, you already know about it. So we are concluding in a negative way that we do not know any unresolved matter. We do not know about any unresolved matter that causes us to believe that significant judgments were not appropriate. Okay. Yes, sir. This was about EQCR documentation. Now, how EP have to document in whole CA final audit? This is the only case where engagement partner has to document something. So whenever I say ask you what engagement partner has to document, then you have to write this answer. Keep in mind, or obviously if I say gives you hint that this is an question from SQC 1 and SQ20, so you will know that it is an engagement partner documentation question. You will have to write all these points. Okay, so what does an engagement partner has to document? First of all, he will have to document why he has accepted or continued with the client, acceptance and continuance and their conclusions. If he has accepted and continued the client, then were the independence was complied or not? Were he able to comply the independence or not? If he was not able to comply the independence and still he has accepted or continued, then this is an issue, and how this issue was resolved. For resolving this issue, he might have taken consultations. Then what was the nature and scope of consultations? So this is the flow through which you can understand this, or you can memorize these 4 keywords. First of all, acceptance and continuance. If yes, independence complied. No, then how this issue was resolved. For resolving, you might have used consultation. Then what was the nature and scope of consultation? Okay. Yes, sir. Next, we talk about the difference of opinion, which is also an important. So suppose engagement partner is consulting with the engagement team, and they have a difference of opinion. Engagement partner is consulting with the EQCR. They have a difference of opinion. Engagement partner is consulting with some other person who is within the firm or outside the firm. Like we can consultations in difficult or contentious matter, we can take consultations. So there's basically somewhere, anywhere there is any difference of opinion, then what we have to do? Can engagement partner with authority make his audit report according to his own opinion? No, sir. He have to take he have to confide with all the stakeholders, with all the persons that he have consulted, including the EQCR. All should agree on that particular point, and after that only the engagement partner can sign his auditor's report or put a date on his auditor's report. So he is saying that we can report only after the resolution of all the differences of opinion. We cannot put a date on our report until the difference of opinion is not resolved. Okay. Yes, sir. So report only after the resolution. So if the EP recommendations are not accepted by the EQCR EQCR recommendations are not accepted by the EP, and the matter is not solved to the satisfaction of the EQCR, then we have to resolve this difference of opinion using procedures that are established by the firm. This is also asked in MCQ. We have to use procedures that is specifically established by the firm for these kind of situation. So firm will make procedures, something like they can also tell the they can establish a procedure in which they can say, okay, you have to consult with another firm, you have to consult with another regulator, you have to consult with a regulatory body, you have to consult with ICI, you have to consult with that person. That is dependent on the firm's procedures. But if we are not able to solve the difference of opinion, then we have to follow firm's procedure, that's for sure. From procedures and say you have to consult with another firm. If another firms agree with your opinion, you can follow your opinion. If another firm agree with EQCR's opinion, you have to follow EQCR's opinion, because that is solved using procedures of the firm, the procedures that are established by the firm. Okay. Yes, sir. Next is our last element, that is monitoring. First of all, before that, let's understand from our concept book whatever we have read till now. Next, we are talking about the EQCR documentation. As an EQCR, what things I need to document. First of all, what procedures were required by firm policies on EQCR, are they performed or not? That the procedures required by the policies, have they been performed or not? Firstly. Secondly, has the EQCR been completed before the date of auditor's report, before the report is issued? And third, reviewer like we, EQCR, is not aware of any unresolved matter that would require EQCR to believe, that would cause us to believe that the significant judgments were not appropriate. We are not aware of any unresolved matter that make us believe that significant judgment were not appropriate. It means that we believe that the significant judgment are appropriate. Only after that we can complete our EQCR, right? That's the thing. Next, EP documentation. As an EP, what I have to document? First of all, the conclusions regarding the acceptance and continuance. Secondly, the conclusions regarding the compliance with independence requirement. Thirdly, the issues in compliance with ethical requirements and how we have resolved it. And lastly, the consultations that we have taken, what are the nature and the scope of the consultation we have to document as an engagement partner. Okay. Yes, sir. Let's talk about the difference of opinion. Now, if there is any difference of opinion within the team, with those consulted, and between the engagement partner and the EQCR, then the report should only be issued after the resolution of differences. With the difference of opinion, you cannot issue a report. Okay, yes sir. Next, if the recommendations of EQCR are not accepted by the engagement partner and the matter is not resolved to the EQCR satisfaction, we should resolve using following established procedures of the firm. Firm should establish a defined procedure for these type of situations, and then we will follow those procedures for resolving these differences of opinion, and then we will issue our report. Like established procedures may include like consulting with another practitioner firm or professional or regulatory body. Okay, yes sir. Now we are on the last part of our SQC1 and SA220. I hope you are enjoying this revision video. If you are enjoying this revision video, please do a like to give your attendance and write your name with CA dash your name with, so that you make a manifestation to God that you are going to clear in next attempt audit. You are going to clear definitely with at least 50-60 marks in this particular attempt. Please do it. It will definitely motivate me, and please do share your feedbacks, your genuine feedbacks on this particular video. It will really push me hard to make more videos for you, and do comment down topics on which you want your videos on, next videos on. I will try to cover major topics for January 26. More 4 to 5 revision videos we can expect for January 26, or we can try more if you give me so much love and support. Okay, yes sir. Chaliye. Next we are discussing about the sixth element, that is monitoring. Now, monitoring the quality control system. Now what does word monitoring mean? Monitoring means that we have obviously designed the quality control system, we have implemented the quality control system, but are we actually following it? Are we actually giving our services based on the quality control system? Are we actually following our quality control system or not? Because if we are not following our quality control system, then what is the use of maintaining a quality control system? So, which means that we are monitoring the quality control system. What are the factors that we need to consider while monitoring the quality control system? Now, monitoring means what? Monitoring means two things. The design should be appropriate and it should be effectively implemented. If the design is not appropriate, then quality control system is useless. If the design is appropriate but it is not effectively implemented, then the quality control system is useless. So monitoring means just two things, that the design should be appropriate and it should be effectively implemented. The design should be appropriate meaning what? That whenever there is any new development in PRL requirements, whenever there are changes in the PRL requirements, they are automatically updated in the quality control system. That's how it should be designed. That whether there is any change in the PRL requirements, automatically the quality control system should be updated. Now, when there are any changes in the quality controls and PRL requirements, who has the responsibility of making changes in the quality control system? It is the responsibility of the engagement partner, that if there are any new developments in the PRL requirements, he have to update in the quality control system as well. Whose responsibility is this? Engagement partner responsibility. Engagement partner also has the responsibility to deal with all the complaints and allegations that the firm has received regarding the quality control system. Like maybe the client might have said us that you are not following quality, you are not giving services with quality. Our employee might be a whistleblower and said us that the firm is not providing services with quality and we are doing so fraud in our services that we are providing. So any complaints and allegations that the firm would have received, it is the responsibility of the engagement partner to deal with complaints and allegations and appropriate remedial actions and put appropriate remedial actions. What can be appropriate remedial action? Either our personnel are not working correctly, or either our quality control system is useless. So we will have to see either of them. Either personnel are not working correctly or the quality control system needs to be fixed. So either of the two we have to see. So these are the 6 points that we have to see in monitoring of quality control system. Again, here, look at here, we are discussing about monitoring of quality control system. First of all, we have to see whether it is appropriately designed or not and effectively implemented or not. Designing the quality control system means that the new developments in PRL requirements should be automatically updated in the quality control system. Whose responsibility is to update the quality control system? Engagement partner responsibility. Engagement partner also has the responsibility to deal with complaints and allegations and specify the appropriate remedial actions. Remedial actions can include either personnel or either quality control system. Okay. Yes sir. Next thing which many students would ask me after reading this answer is, sir, where are the matters that we need to consider while dealing with the complaints and allegation? I have seen my other faculty book has these matters. They are old course. They are not part of new course. ICI has removed them from the ICI study material, and the course I have updated my book as per new course. You will not find the matters that are relevant while dealing with complaints and allegations in your ICI module, and you will not find it in my concept book because I have updated my material and it is not no more relevant to you in your new course. So don't worry about it. I have covered everything that is relevant, and I want you to give your less efforts and score maximum of the marks that you can. and that's where I have designed my material. Okay, yes sir, I hope that doubt is solved. Okay, chaliye. So we are discussing about the dealing with complaints and allegations. Let's discuss this from the concept book. Okay, first of all, let's discuss some MCQ as well. If we have not documented our audit plan and ROMM, and we have given accounting standards reference in our Ind AS financial statements, that means we are not following our quality. That means we have violated SA 220. So basically there was an MCQ in which we have audited the financial statements, and after audit we got to know that we have not documented audit plan and risk of material misstatement. The client which we are doing of our audit of was financial statements were to be prepared on the basis of Ind AS, and the client prepared the basis of financial statements on the basis of accounting standards, and we also audited the financial statement based on accounting standards, which means that we are not doing our services with quality. If we were doing services with the quality, then we would have identified these gaps in our audit. So this was a SA 220 violation. That was a MCQ there which was asked by ICAI. Okay, yes sir. Now let's discuss the last part from our concept book, that is monitoring. What does monitoring mean? We have to check whether the quality control system are relevant, adequate, operating effectively, and complied with, whether we are complying with the quality control system or not. What are the factors to be considered while monitoring the quality control system? First of all, we have to decide whether the quality control of the system of the firm is appropriately designed and effectively implemented. These are the keywords. If you don't write these keywords, ICAI will not give you marks. Secondly, examining whether the new developments in the PRL requirements are reflected in quality control system or not. The new requirements are reflected in quality control system or not. Third, conducting the monitoring by assigning. We have to assign the responsibility of monitoring process to the partner or other persons who have sufficient and appropriate experience and authority in the firm, because then only he will be able to monitor this quality control system, right? If he doesn't have the sufficient appropriate experience and authority, then how we will do it? He will be useless then. Okay, yes. Next, dealing with the complaints and allegations which are come against the firm or any of the employees that they are not complying with the professional standards by person who is within or outside the firm. If there are any complaints or allegations either on the firm or either on the employees, we have to deal with those complaints and allegations. Are we able to deal with those complaints and allegations or not? That is a part of monitoring. Next, taking appropriate remedial action against personnel who did not conform to the quality control system. Either we can take appropriate action on the personnel, or we can taking action on deficiencies in design or operation of quality control system, or non-compliance with quality control system is identified. Either we have to take action on the personnel, or we have to take action for the quality control system. Okay, yes sir. Now there is very small topic in SQC 1 and SQC 220 that is very short, and that will help you remember. That was very long in your old course, but now it's very short. So you just have to remember the keywords or the highlights. So this talks about the mechanisms for review of quality control. There are three mechanisms for review of quality control. One is peer review board, second is quality review board, third is NAFRA. Peer review board is formed by the Council of ICAI. Its work is to enhance quality of the work, and after they review, there are many CAs who come to your organization, your firm, for reviewing your audit quality, and after they review, they issue us report. If the report is unqualified report, like they have issued an unqualified opinion, then you are issued a peer review certificate, and after the peer review certificate you can audit the listed entities. If we do not have any peer review certificate, and then even then we are auditing the listed entities, then on under which clauses we are found to be guilty, you have to write in the comment box, and whoever write in the comment box, I will give a heart to your comment so that everyone knows that this is the right answer. There are two clauses, both are alternative solution. ICAI gives them as both alternative solution. If you have already done professional ethics, then you know this, that if we don't have a peer review certificate, and even then if we are auditing the listed entities, then we are guilty under two clauses. What are the two clauses? Do write down in the comment section below. Okay, yes sir. Next, if we have a qualified report, if we have a qualified opinion, like we have not done our work with audit quality, then we are given with the date of follow-on review. Like they will come again for review, and then they will check we have followed quality or not. Okay, yes sir. Next is quality review board. Quality review board is formed by central government plus some members of council from ICAI. Okay, yes sir. This follows a risk-based approach where in the industry there is more risk, they target more auditors there. Okay, yes sir. They basically their objective is to basically review our quality of work. They review quality, they recommend to the Council of ICAI, and guide members. They have three functions to do. Okay, these are the things that you need to just remember about these particular board or firm. Next is NAFRA, that is National Financial Reporting Authority. So basically this is set up under Companies Act 2013. These are applicable on big companies like listed insurance and banking companies. What they do is they monitor compliance, whether you are compliant with the quality control system, they oversee your quality, they suggest measures, and they also undertake investigation of auditors. Recently there have been many cases where NAFRA has held guilty CAs for their negligence in working, for their not providing quality in their work. Okay, yes sir, there is one MCQ which was asked recently in your exams, and which is more important, is that the quality review board previously had more powers, was the biggest supreme institution before NAFRA. As soon as the NAFRA arrived, most of the powers were shifted to NAFRA. So basically it is saying that the quality review board can review quality of members only for those entities which are not covered under NAFRA rules, and NAFRA rules cover all the big entities. So those small entities will come under quality review board. Either those small quality entities will come under quality review board, or those entities which are referred to QRB by the NAFRA, or if the NAFRA at the mere instance or at the mercy of NAFRA, if the NAFRA gives some institutions to QRB, then the QRB can review the quality, otherwise not. So only those entities which are not covered by the NAFRA, or only those entities which are referred by the NAFRA, they can only be audited, or they can be only quality review done by quality review board. Okay, yes sir, National Financial Reporting Authority, I have told this. Part 2 is old course. Okay, so this was about my batches. And lastly, I just want to say you, auditors maintain quality in their work, and students should maintain quality in your efforts. Like auditors maintain quality in their work, you should maintain quality in your efforts. You should work hard, you should consistently study, and you should definitely devote sufficient time to audit so that you are able to clear it in your next attempt very soon and with a good flying colors marks. Okay, yes sir, I hope this video was helpful, valuable, and I hope I was able to serve you in English language as well. Please do comment down whatever feedback that you might have for me, any constructive criticism that you might have for me, because I am here to learn, and I am here to make you learn as well. Okay, yes sir. So in हिंदी we say इस बार ऑडिट में एग्जेम्पशन पार, बस दुआ में याद रखना हम सीए बनेंगे. So इस बार ऑडिट में एग्जेम्पशन पार means that this time there will be an audit. we will take exemption in audit. Secondly, bas dua mein yaad rakhna, keep me on your prayers. So in English that it sounds very different. In Hindi it's bas dua mein yaad rakhna. And thirdly, we have hum CA banenge, we will definitely become a CA. So this is the three line which I usually say in Hindi, and which I will continue say in Hindi. That keeps more impact compared to saying it in English. So yes, इस बार audit में exemption पार, हम CA बनेंगे, बस दुआ में याद रखना. Thank you, bye bye, and do like it.